What if the greatest telescope in history has just revealed something we were not meant to see? What if everything we've ever thought we knew about the origin of our universe, about time and space and reality itself, is starting to come apart at the seams under the onslaught of new information? The James Webb Space Telescope, built to gaze at the earliest light of the universe, has now provided information so disturbing that a Nobel Prize-winning physicist has finally spoken out with one stark, chilling message. This is not our universe. What did the James Webb Telescope actually discover at the outer rim of the universe? And why are scientists sounding the alarm that it has the potential to rewrite the very foundations of cosmology as we understand it? Stick around, because what you are about to learn changes everything. In a corner of the sky that is packed with old light, the James Webb Telescope picked up what appeared to be a plain yellow splotch. But when astronomers gave it a closer examination, their theories fell apart. That small glowing clump wasn't another galaxy. It was the farthest galaxy ever observed, born just 290 million years after the universe's purported birth. But that's impossible. It's too large and too luminous and too evolved to have emerged so shortly after the Big Bang. By our own theories today, there was simply not enough time or material to create galaxies like this during the early universe. And here it is nonetheless. And it's not unique. Webb has now spotted dozens more similar to it. And each is a cosmic contradiction, defying all the rules we thought we knew about the early universe. Scientists started peering deeper, and what did they discover yet more astonishing? Some of these early universe objects aren't just massive, they're completely foreign to anything we've seen before. Unlike normal galaxies, which convert about 10% of their gas into stars, Webb discovered at least 3 galaxies that have turned 100% of their matter into stars. No gas, no dust, just pure, blazing starlight. That's not just unusual, it's impossible according to every existing model of galaxy formation. So now scientists are posing a much more frightening question. What if these are not galaxies? What if we're not looking at the early universe but something else? A structure in another dimension, a leftover from an old cosmos, or an invasion from another universe entirely? To appreciate why it's rattling cosmology to its foundations, we have to discuss the Hubble sphere and the observable universe. The farther away an object is, the faster it moves away from us due to the expansion of space. At a certain point, called the Hubble sphere, galaxies are moving away from us faster than the speed of light. Common sense says we shouldn't be able to see those galaxies, yet we can. That's because space itself is expanding, and the boundary of what we can see keeps stretching. But beyond that boundary is something frightening, an area of the universe that we can never find, and that will never find us. And yet, the James Webb Telescope is now detecting light and signals from those impossible regions, light that should never have arrived. Which gives one inevitable conclusion: we are seeing beyond the edge of our universe. And no one has any idea what is on the other side. Webb's findings are making scientists wonder the unthinkable. What if the universe never began? Nobel winners are now questioning the Big Bang theory outright. Because if the galaxies could be made quicker than physics can explain, if the light can travel to us from outside cosmic limits, and if things appear that ignore time, size, and mass, then perhaps we've got everything wrong. Maybe the early universe isn't early at all. Maybe what we're seeing isn't a timeline, but a fracture, a place where 2 universes overlap. Or worse, where something far older than our universe is bleeding through. Whatever it is, it doesn't fit into our models, and it never will. Among the James Webb Telescope's most overlooked discoveries is not a visual image, but a strange frequency. When Webb's instruments measured the universe's background noise, they picked up a weak, rhythmic vibration, one that isn't associated with any known cosmic event. It's not a pulsar. It's not gravitational waves. It's not cosmic microwave background distortion. The frequency comes back at regular intervals, as if it were produced. Some astrophysicists have begun referring to it as the heartbeat beyond time. Others are more reserved, indicating that it may be a signature of exotic matter, something which may exist only beyond the edge of our universe. And the scary part, this frequency isn't random. It has a mathematical pattern to it, like something or someone encoded it to be found. One of the telescope's surprising discoveries is a gigantic mismatch between what we observe and what we experience. Galaxies at the farthest distances seem to possess sufficient gravity to warp light, warp space, and even influence nearby structures, without any apparent matter. This isn't dark matter. It's something different. Webb is now thought by some scientists to be measuring gigantic gravitational oddities that have no apparent source. The ghostly mass fields behave as cosmic smudges imprinting spacetime from a location we can't observe. But where do they come from? There are some theorists who are now speculating on the unthinkable. We're experiencing the shadow of another universe bumping into our own. What if all we see is duplicated with a mirror image we can't see? Not figuratively, but actually. An alternate theory once eschewed by conventional cosmologists is gaining traction again. That there is a twin universe in which time moves the opposite direction and physical laws act backward compared to ours. So what changed? The James Webb Telescope recorded signs of particle actions and patterns of rotation within remote galaxies indicating asymmetry, like two opposing cosmic systems interfacing. It's like our universe is being tugged one way, while another, just beyond our grasp, is traveling in the opposite direction. If so, we might not be alone in the multiverse. Perhaps we are connected to a shadow reality that mirrors our own. In a last twist, one of Webb's distant instruments was monitoring a light signature on the fringe of the observable universe. It was supposed to dwindle. It was due to disappear forever, as most light from far sources does eventually. But then it reappeared, not from the same direction, not at the same time, but with the same spectral signature. As though the light had been emitted and reflected back off something the telescope had just seen. Cosmic echo. But echo of what? There are only two options. Either the light looped back around the curve of the universe, which would mean that space is closed and finite, or it struck something else. Something at the edge. Something that can reflect light. Something that shouldn't exist. The James Webb Space Telescope was constructed to look into the past, to show us how the universe started. But instead, it has done something much more frightening. It could have taught us that our universe is not unique. The impossible galaxies, the ghostly masses, the mirrored patterns, the pulse, the echo, each finding erodes the illusion of certainty, at the reassuring notion that we know where we are, when we are, and what we are. A Nobel Prize-winning physicist cautioned us. This is not our universe. And perhaps that's the truth we were never supposed to confront. Perhaps we're floating on the rim of something old, huge, and uncaring. A deeper framework, a greater reality, a universe beyond the universe.